in today's training is we're going to talk about setting ourselves up for success through scheduling and time management and putting things in the right priority. Because you can be very busy in this business and make no money. There are lots of things that you can do to educate yourself, to be involved with, and then when you look up at the end of the year, you go, man, I was just so busy, but your bank account doesn't reflect making any money. Now, I believe in, doing the most effective money-making activities while learning and building, the business and being educated and being informed. But if you don't do the money-making activities, then you're not going to make the money. And the more you can spend time doing money-making activities, the more money you'll make. And as you grow in your business and you have to start delegating work, you'll realize where the money-making activities are and where the routine things that you can hire an assistant eventually to do, so that they can start focusing on those kind of things. All right, so I'm sharing with you guys a little bit. This is, and so today I want you to really kind of take things in today in today's webinar. I'm not going to try to get you to act on what we're going to talk about today in the classroom on Thursday. We're going to actually put this into more practice and discuss things. So today is going to be more of a review, possibilities, get you thinking, your creative juices, and we're going to kind of work together to build a potential schedule for a new agent starting out, or even an experienced agent that really wants to robust their business. And because eventually we'll get into, putting a real business plan together and things like that, but I don't want to overwhelm you with what that really looks like. All right, so right here, we have the top 10 most effective activities you can do in real estate. Number one, writing and presenting a contract. That is definitely a money-making activity. If you're writing a contract or you're presenting a contract to one of your listings, that's where you have the opportunity to make money. So that would be the number one thing that you should put on your schedule to do. Now, number two here is to get a price adjustment on a listing. Now, assuming that you have a traditional listing and you want to get that sold rather quickly, this would be number two. Because if you price it right, you're putting the power of all the other real estate agents to work for you. Every realtor out there that has a buyer that could potentially sell your property, if it's priced right, it'll sell. So you put the power, and I kind of even gave a scenario today in our sales call that I had a for sale sign up, no activity. As soon as I put it in the MLS, I got bombarded. It hadn't even been on the market for 7 days, and now it's already pending. So that's the power of the right price. Listing presentation. If you can be out on a listing presentation appointment, that is, again, very effective with your time. So if you can be on listing presentations. Showing a home. So if you're out with a buyer showing a home, that's pretty high on the money-making list of activities that you could be doing. Doing a pop-by. You'll kind of hear what a pop-by is, but beyond just a pop-by, just connecting with somebody in your center of influence. A pop-by is when you pop in on somebody that you do business with or that you want to get business from, and you give them a little trinket. You're basically just trying to say hi to them. You're giving them an item of value. Again, you're trying to build that rapport to be the referral source for that person. Making calls. So making calls to your center of influence is a very good money-making activity. Making calls, following up with your leads that you currently have, and cultivating future business. is something that you can do. Making calls to for sell by owners, potential prospects. Making calls to expireds. Making calls to people that are in a distressed situation that might need to do a short sale. Okay. Writing notes. Okay. Again, when you meet somebody, you should really follow up with a personal note and say, hey, nice meeting you. It was great catching up. Hey, nice meeting you. Glad to see you're doing so well. Look forward to talking with you in the future. Those little things will build great, great bonus points with you, with people that you're trying to connect with. And we talked about deepening that relationship last week with our COI. Writing notes is definitely a great way that you can do that. Business-to-business networking. We talked about that. Doing business-to-business networking and being connected to other businesses, A, that you can refer, B, you can provide better value to your clients. Okay, so having those connections and being to be a source for the resource is huge, or a resource for the source. Learning and growing. Spending time learning and growing is in your top 10 activities that you could be doing in real estate with your time. You guys being on today's call, coming to Thursday's meetings, being on our company call, I mean, those are all learning and growing opportunities. You hear people say, communicate on our meeting, and I try to bring value by letting you know what's kind of going on and things that I've seen, trends. Taking my experience and sharing that with you today. Jan shared how she was connecting with people and sharing what she has learned. Prioritizing and planning. You should be adjusting your plan daily, okay? You should have a monthly plan that breaks down to a weekly plan, and that weekly plan breaks down to a daily plan. And that daily plan should be reviewed 2 times. You should review it in the morning before you start your day, and then you should review it at the end of the day, okay, to go ahead and set up your next day's plan. Because there are things that are going to get into your schedule that should be what we call non-negotiables. These are things that you don't get to move. You don't get to override. If you move it, you have to reschedule it, okay? They're called non-negotiables. Any questions on these top 10 right here? And again, this is by Brian Buffini down here, and so this is what his philosophy is as far as the top 10 things that you can be doing with your time. All right. So I want to come down here to what's called the learning loop and just kind of show you what the learning loop's about. When we're going to set up some certain goals for ourselves, okay, was the goal? What you're going to need to understand is the learning loop. There's never any failure in the real estate business. There are only things that did not work and opportunities to make changes to them. Okay. You can never fail in real estate unless you quit. What you can do is evaluate what has happened, determine whether it worked or didn't work, and then you can change your approach. But there's no failing. So when we start putting things into our schedule, we start applying some action to the activities that we should be doing. I want you to keep this in mind. So that you can grow from this. And how we do that is, was the goal specific? Was it crystal clear of what my objective was by doing this activity? Was the goal set too high? Did I really aim too high and I didn't meet that criteria to be able to win? Did I commit the appropriate resources required to meet the goal? Very, very important. Did I, because that could be a time commitment. Did I commit the appropriate time to meet that goal? Did I have enough opportunities to meet that goal? And so, this can apply to analyzing whether you were able to, meet that goal or not. And looking at the resources. Did I have somebody, hold me accountable? Did I track my numbers? Did I really know what I did and what kind of return came from my effort? Okay, and I'll give you an example. If you're tracking your numbers, and again, that's more of an advanced training, tracking your numbers, but that's something that we teach here at our company. I'm not going to teach it to you right yet because I want you to just not be overwhelmed with too many things. But when you start holding yourself accountable for the activities you actually did, for instance, I'll give you an example. If I said I was going to call 3 COI people a day, okay, and in a five-day work week, that means I would have called 15 individuals. And out of those 15 individuals, did I get a lead? And so I could actually, if I called 10 and I got 1 lead, I can actually come up with a conversion rate. And I can track my numbers by being accountable, that I did do that every single day. And creating consistency within my work schedule. And then I want to know what worked. I want to know, what worked and what didn't work. I want to do more of the activities that I did that worked and less of the activities that didn't work. So I can start hitting the sweet spot of that activity or that goal, and then I can build off of that. What adjustments will I need to make next time? For instance, if I had an open house and I only printed out 5 flyers because my previous open house I only saw 2 people, so I'm like, I'm not going to waste all that paper. But this time I decided to put up 20 signs, post it on Craigslist, get it out to Michael ahead of time. He posted it on the internet. I put it on Postlets. I posted it on my Facebook. All of a sudden, and I mailed the neighbors across the street. Instead of getting 5 people or 2 people to my open house, I got 25 people to my open house, and I didn't have enough flyers. I wasn't prepared for that much success. And maybe I didn't promote the previous open house the way that I just described the one I just promoted. So, what adjustments can I make to make it better to where it meets my goals? So this is something that you can have, and this is your learning loop, so that you can improve things in your business. Okay? Any questions on this so far? Hi, Ruth. Welcome to the call.
Thank you. I was in with Al, and I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sure I missed some good stuff already.
That's all right. We'll catch you up to speed soon.
Thank you.
No problem. So, again, the learning loop is so that when you do activities, you can look at those activities and see kind of what results. Start self-measuring, okay? And accountability, I'm going to make you be accountable to me. That's the difference in our company versus other real estate companies. I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to see what your goal is. I'm going to hold you accountable to what you say you're going to do. Now, granted, you and I are going to, have talks about, well, I really didn't do that, or, I should be doing that better. But I'm here to help. I'm not here to criticize. My whole goal is to help you move forward and achieve your maximum potential. Real quick, I just want to bring up this little flyer here real quick. Brian Buffini has a saying, and I'm not expecting us to use this one, okay? But if you did the Brian Buffini program, he has what's called the winning formula for winning the day, all right? And I'm going to just increase this a little bit so you can see it, all right? And basically for him to win the day, he has to, check in with, have 5 check-in calls with his program. 3 personal notes. You have to write 3 personal notes in the day. Then you have to add 1 new person to your database for that particular day. And then how to win the week? Well, you got to host 2 business lunches. Okay, now that could be you go to the business, you invite 2 business potential people to lunch. Listen, I know economics is in play and nobody wants to buy lunch or all that, but maybe you get together with coffee with somebody. Again, expand that COI, deepening those relationships. He believes in pop-bys. He does a lot of pop-bys. I don't do a lot of pop-bys. They are effective, though. And pop-bys, again, are when you pop in to see somebody that you want to have a relationship with. So in his winning formula, doing at least 10 pop-bys. Attend at least 1 networking meeting. A networking meeting where you meet with other people and share ideas and share business thoughts and ask for referrals. How to win the month. Make a personal contact with all of your A-plus clients. Okay. Send an item of value to your entire database. Attend a social or business network event. So that would be how he would classify winning the month. And then winning the quarter. Host 1 networking party or seminar or gathering. Okay. Update your directory. And that's how you would win the quarter. And then how you win the year. Host 1 database party. Get support for your business with coaching. Okay. So again, these are the things. If you win 2 hours, then you win the day. If you win 4 days within the week, you win the week. If you win 3 weeks, then you won the month. If you win 8 months in the year, then you've won the year. So it's not, again, his philosophy is setting yourself up for success, and if you do these proactivities, then you're going to get results in your business, and you can't help but to win. And again, I'm just kind of sharing these ideas. He also, he has a whole strategy on how to plan these things for the week. And I'm setting these up so you can understand how we're going to start beginning to plan our week. Okay? Again, on Monday, make 5 check-in calls. On Monday, I'm going to write 3 personal notes. On Monday, I'm going to add 1 new relationship to my database using the Mayor campaign, which I've given you guys last week. I'm going to do 2 pop-bys. Face-to-face meetings with clients is the best way to strengthen relationships. Okay? And then on Tuesday, back to making those 5 phone calls. Again, writing those 3 notes, adding 1 new relationship to the database, going to lunch with another business professional, strengthening those business relationships. Again, on Wednesday, 5 phone calls, writing 3 personal notes, adding 1 person to your database, go to coffee with your favorite client, grab a cup of coffee. And then on Thursday, 5 phone calls, 3 personal notes, and then adding 1 relationship to your database, and then doing 2 pop-bys. And then Friday, again, making 5 phone calls, 3 personal notes, 1 addition to your database, and 2 pop-bys. And if you did this consistently, who here on the call would think that they would find success?
I would, because you'd be in touch with so many people.
That's it. It's a consistent game, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And what happens is we get off track so often in our business because there's so much to do that we get away from the pro activities, the money-making activities. Processing a listing doesn't make us any money. Going on a listing appointment does. We understand that if we don't process a listing, we won't get it in the MLS. But you know, creating a flyer for that listing, it's something that needs to be done, but it's not something that's a pro activity. Okay, so what we want to do is balance our schedule with pro-activity heavy, money-making activities, but also leave time to get the job done. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're going to be filling out this Thursday is this flyer right here. It's called the Time Management and Position Yourself for Success. All right. Understanding your business goal. So, like for instance, I'm going to give you an example. I'm just going to read it to you. I have here one of our agents had, taken this course, and this is what they put in here for one of their positions. To create a COI plan to communicate with current and past clients on a consistent basis to get 6 referrals of businesses for business. So this was like a half-year plan. And so what they put in here, what is your income goal? Well, my income goal is 6 sales that equal $25,000. So they're targeting their COI. They're looking for 6 referrals, and they're targeting 6 sales to equal $25,000. And then by when? We have to define when we want to achieve that goal. And so they put here, by the end of the year of 2012. And then what we do is we do what's called the brain dump, okay, to really come up with as many activities as we can to reach that goal. So some of the activities that he came up with was, he needs to create a database. That was the first one that he did. Then he needs to schedule to call them every 45 to 60 days. So now he's going to make those phone calls every day. And then he's going to create a touch program that consists of notes, emails, events, and cards. Okay, so he's going to, add those things. One of the things that he also, hey, welcome back, John. Would you do me a favor and just mute your mic for me? Thanks. He's going to set up the Lowe's reward website to where he can offer coupons to Lowe's Home Improvement. Okay. And then he worked, then he started working backwards on how much the time commitment is going to take to put in to make this work. So these are the activities that he can do to fulfill this goal. All right, so we're going to be setting some goals up for ourselves and working on those. And we'll break those down by each individual goal. This is something that I sent out to people regarding, some pillars for lead generation, okay? Now, let me just see if I can blow this up a little bit. Here we go. So, for instance, here are some conversion rates from our class that we had. For instance, if you wanted to have a for sale by owner program, and you wanted to get 20 for sale by owners equals 1 traditional listing. 25% of all for sale by owners will list with the flat fee or 1 out of 4. So and the average would be the 340 package. Again, I haven't updated this with our new package information, but you can see here. So if I wanted 24 listings, I would have to have 100 for sell-by owners per year. That breaks down to 8.3 per month, which is only 2 per week. So we take the elephant and we break it down into chunks, and then we take those chunks and we break it down into plates, and from the plates we break it down into bites. So you take what your goal is in your income pillar, and we start out with what the ultimate goal is, and then we break that down, and then we break it down into simple form to where we know what we need to do per week. Excuse me for a moment. So when we're able to do that with different things, we can then position ourselves every single day and every single week in the right spot on a consistent basis to be able to meet our goal. So it's what we do over a long period of time consistently that's going to be the big return versus what we do the one-off event one time. So for instance, if somebody wanted to do open houses and that was going to be part of their source of getting business, and so they figured 1 out of 20, and when we say groups of people, that means like husband and wife is one group, okay? So they don't count as 2 people. So if you figure 1 out of 20 will become a client, all right, and under the open house thing here, groups, couples, or single buyers. So 4 groups average per open house, okay? So if you have 4 groups per average per open house, so 12 buyers from open house would mean I need 240 groups divided by 4, because my average is 4 per group. That breaks down to 60 open houses per year. That breaks down to 5 open houses per month. That's 1.5 open houses per week. So you can see if I wanted to have a very effective open house strategy, I could easily do that. So by knowing what the conversion ratios would be. We did another one for gavels, or what's called short sales, and we had 2 out of 10 that we contacted. So that would mean if I wanted 24 listings, I would have to contact 240 short sale listing prospects per year, which equals 20 short sale prospects per month, which equals 4.8 short sale prospects per week. So I'm breaking down what I need to get to per week. And just to kind of give you an idea of income from these activities, if you had 4 traditional listings per year, 12 buyers per year, 24 for sell-by owner fees as a bonus, your income would be, you'd have 40 sales in a year, average income of $5,000. Your gross commission income could be $200,000 in a year. Now, this sounds like a lot of money, and these are some hefty goals. But you could easily break this all down into smaller chunks to meet more modest goals to start off with. But you can kind of see how it compounds on itself. And we didn't even talk about talking to your COI here, which is a huge source of business. That's referral business. And again, I don't expect you to do any of this. We're going to be working on some of this stuff in class. But I wanted you to understand the breakdown. I wanted you to really pay attention to this part right here, is you can take an activity and break it down to what you need to do per week, okay? By breaking things down to what you can do per week, no matter what the activity is, then you can schedule those activities to make sure that you stay on track of what your proactivities need to be. So Any questions on that?
Will you go over the open house again? I don't quite understand the groups.
Okay. A group, okay, is you can't count a husband and wife as two people if they come through your house. If it's a family of 4 that comes through the open house, you can't count them as like 4 different people came through your open house. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So a group is a collective of a collection of people that would live in one dwelling.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. And I don't want you to try to even look at my formulas and try to figure out a game plan. That's not the reason I showed this to you. The reason I showed this to you was so that you could see, once you have a goal, once you set a goal, that we can break that goal down by what you need to accomplish in a year. Then we can break it down to what you need to accomplish in a month. We can break that down into what you need to accomplish in a week. And then we'll schedule your activities to meet those demands within that week.
Okay.
All right? Because the hardest thing in real estate is maintaining a schedule. Because you don't have somebody mapped out exactly what you're supposed to be doing every single day, because our environment changes. For instance, if you had 2 buyers in town that needed to look at houses, guess what? This week looks like you're showing houses all day long, every day that you're with these people, because that's what happens in our business. But if we start putting our proactivities into our schedule, which we're going to play around with next, then you can see that you can move things around in your schedule and always still be making the money-making activities, okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on a schedule together. So I'm going to get some participation from you guys. All right? So everybody kind of see this here? So we're going to be, this is going to be kind of interactive. And you can see I already have a couple things in my schedule. I have a conference call with Listing Services Direct on Tuesday, and then I have a conference call, I have a training from 10 to 11 right here. So if somebody wants to meet me during these times, guess what? I'm already booked. If I need to see a doctor or something, guess what? I'm already booked. If I need to do a home inspection here on Thursday, I can't do it because I'm already booked. I have a buyer that came in town. He wants to see property on Thursday morning. Gee, I'm really sorry. I can show you at 1 o'clock. I'm already booked. When you start having that kind of mindset and you have that control over those things, and you'll start respecting yourself and your time and what the value of that really means. Okay? Hey, Jan, I'm going to pick on you to help me out here a little bit, because I know that you do a schedule.
Okay.
And I know that you're kind of experienced with this. So these are the things that, to work in the real estate company full time, if this is what I'm planning on doing, these are in my schedule. So I have a whole week now. The next thing that you should plug in is your off days. What day do you want to take off, Jan?
I usually do Friday afternoons.
That's the only day you take off?
Well, no, then the rest of them I just fill in depending on what I'm doing.
Okay, so you don't mind working every day in real estate as long as you're able to take a committed day, some time, free time off.
If I know I have somebody in town for 4 days, I go straight through and then I take 2 days off.
Okay, fair enough. But all right, so if we were going to build our ideal week, So what you're saying is, let's just go ahead and take Friday all day off. You know, if you really wanted to have, you know, something like that, you could take the whole day, or you could just say, okay, I'm only going to take half the day off. I'm going to work in the morning, but I'm done at noon. All right, and for this exercise, we'll make that a brown. All right, so I'm off on that day. What would be another day I might take off?
A lot of times it's Sundays.
All right, so I'm going to take Sundays off. And in our thing here, I'm going to take just every other Sunday off, okay? So that's going to be a whole day.
But this is all subject to change, because if I do have like a house that I can hold open, then I usually take weekdays off.
Right.
You know, everything's flexible.
Well, that's the beauty of it. But if we wanted to create our ideal work week, and that's what we're trying to do, and just to give you a quick, I'll just come back to it in a minute. All right, so let's look at Monday. On Monday, I know that I need to do some pro activities on Monday, right? So I probably I need to work in my top producer, right?
Monday mornings are usually top producer, get that out, get any leads that have come in over the weekend that you've sent them an 8x8 and so forth, kind of make sure you got everything set up and all the programs for them. You know, just
so
kind of
let's say I want to work, what, an hour? Maybe an hour on my top producer from 8:30 to 9:30?
Yeah, that'll be right.
Okay. And again, I'm going to say that this is working on the business. This isn't really money-making activities. It's something that you need to do, but it's really, so I'm going to label that blue. It's working on the business. Okay. And what I can do is I can make this reoccurring. So this is what I'm going to do every Monday. Every Monday, boom. All right. So then after I set up my top producer on Monday, I would probably need to do top producer every day for a little bit, just in case I have activities to knock out. So if I were on Tuesdays, I probably want to just work in there for 30 minutes before the meeting or something. Or maybe I spend that first hour. Let's just say, for 30 minutes. So I start my day at 8:30. It's reoccurring. And, again, it's working on the business. And let's say this is a routine that I'd like to have throughout the week. So I'm going to come up here, and I have it for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I don't work on top producer Mondays or Saturdays or Sundays. I only do that something through the week. So now my schedule's starting to shape up. So I'm spending just 30 minutes in my top producer. And if I find the need that I need to do more, then I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
I probably need to check my emails, right, somewhere throughout my day. So maybe on Mondays I check my email a couple times a day. But here I could just say I'm not going to check it till about 9:30. I'm going to spend 30 minutes doing emails. And again, this is business but not money making. And here I can get my emails done before the office meeting from 8:30 to 9:30. And I can make that reoccurring Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Can you see how this is shaping up, guys? Oh, I didn't color code it. All right, so I got some money-making activities. Now, what's something that we read on the Buffini thing? If we come back here, top 10 things I could be doing with my time, right? Writing contracts, getting price adjustments, going and showing property pop-bys. Well, I'm a new agent. I don't really have these activities. But if I met somebody over the weekend, I could show them houses, right? Now, I would recommend, I could say, okay, I'm going to do my COI calls.
That's the important one that gets left out.
Yeah. And I'm just, let's just say I start out with 3. And I just put the number 3. Guess what this is? It's green. It makes money. Didn't seem that important, but it does. So I'm going to call people between, I'm only calling 3. I could probably knock that out in 30 minutes. So I'm going to make this reoccurring every Monday at that time. All right, Tuesday night is a night that I like to make phone calls. And so let's just say Tuesday night I scheduled myself in the evening time. And let's just say I'm going to start that at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to try to catch the people that are home that at 6 a.m. Okay. So those are my COI calls. And also, and so on Wednesday, when I need to do my COI calls too. So seems like 9 o'clock in the morning might be a good time to call people. We're losing people. So again, I'm only. All right, so I got that scheduled for Wednesday and Friday, and then Thursday, because I got a lot of things going on. Thursday is when I'm going to try to do my COI again at night. Okay. And just depending on what your schedule is, these are the things. So I got 5 days of calling, just 30 minutes a day, 3 COIs. Can you see how powerful that might be?
Okay, now why don't you go back and show them how you got to this screen?
How I got to the screen?
Yeah, maybe, people are watching that you're putting it in, but just to refresh how you got to that screen.
Okay. If you use Outlook, and this is what the program is that I use, Microsoft Outlook, there's a calendar button here. And this is one of my calendars. This happens to be what I call a blank calendar. I use this for training purposes. This is my actual calendar. right here. Okay, this is my current calendar. And you can have different calendars in here. So, you can go to your different calendars. This was a calendar that I set up for myself when I was just an agent, a top agent, and I was programming everything in. And these are, how I work my days. These were the times that I did throughout the day. So this is how I use the calendar function here. But it's not so much important what calendar you use. You can use a manual calendar. You can use this particular program to use a calendar. You can even use Google. Google has a calendar. What I want you to understand is how you start breaking down your time and scheduling your time so you know exactly what you should be doing throughout the day. All right, so we have just a little bit of time left, so let's go ahead and finish these things up. So you can see that I still have lots of opportunities that I can get in here. So one of the things that I can schedule for maybe on my Tuesday, Tuesday afternoon, maybe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to schedule from 2 to 3, a whole hour, okay? And I'm making it blue, and I'm going to say work on the business. Spelled that wrong. Okay. All right. And then let's say every other Sunday, I'm going to do an open house. All right. Sorry about that. Somehow I got on the wrong week, so we'll just do this week right here. All right. So this this will be the next week. So I'm going to do an open house. And I'm going to do it every other Sunday. And I'm going to start it from 11 a.m. and I'm going to go to 5 p.m. I'm not doing no wimpy open house. And because I want to combine this, I'm going to do an open house again on Sunday or Saturday. Because right now I don't have any clients. Okay, and if I don't have any clients, what should I spend most of my time doing? Getting clients. How do I get clients? I position myself in the marketplace where the clients might be. All right, so I need to do some follow-up here. So on Tuesdays, I'm going to call this lead follow-up. All right, that's going to be green. And I'm going to follow up in the evening on Tuesdays from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 1 hour. Actually, 1.5 hours from 6:30. All right. And I'm going to do that every Tuesday. All right. And I think on Thursday I also was working late. So Can you see how my screen's starting to look more green? Did I lose everybody on the call? And we only have 5 more minutes.
Looks pretty green to me.
It's starting to look pretty green, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I know blues are some things. Blues mean I'm working on the business, okay? That I'm working on my business. Green means money-making activities. I'm doing money-making activities. I'm calling my COI. I'm doing some lead follow-up. Okay, maybe on Mondays, okay, I decide to create expired program or call expireds. I'm just going to call it an expired program because it could mean a lot of things. Maybe I'm putting together postcards. Maybe I'm putting together anything. And you know what? I'm going to do that from 10 o'clock in the morning to, let's say, 11. So I'm going to give myself a full hour there. I'm going to do that every Monday. Oops, I scheduled that on top of something else. So we need to back that out. Oh, it won't let me change it. Then what we can do, delete it. Try it again. And I'm going to do that on Mondays and Fridays. So my schedule's really shaping up. You know, I'm going to do a networking event. It's a lunch. I'm going to do that every Monday for right now. And it starts about 11:30 and doesn't get over until about 1 o'clock. And again, that's a networking event that's green. I know Thursdays, business after 5, sometimes shows up on Thursdays. But you can see my schedule. All right, these would be what I would consider non-negotiable things for my business plan. Guys, I'm going to go a little bit long today, probably like 5-10 minutes, okay? But these are the things that once I start creating my activities of what I'm going to do to build my business, once I schedule them in my schedule, guess what? I don't get to delete them. So if something comes up, okay, for instance, something comes up on Monday and I can't work, guess what? I move this to another time, okay, within my schedule. I don't get to delete what I said I was going to do for the week. And when you start scheduling like this, you can see how that can really work for you. Now, I know that we scheduled some time off here. Okay. And I would go back, and this is going to be reoccurring. All right, so now we have our schedule and we have our activities. Now, if somebody comes along and wants to see a house, I have opportunities. I have lots of windows and time available in my schedule that I can schedule them. If I don't have anything scheduled with that time, guess what I can do? I can go refer back to my activities. Oh, that wasn't what I was looking for. I can look at my most effective things here and see what I can get done. All right. And as you start building your business, you're going to realize that you're going to need some more time to do things and be more proactive. So if I found time in my schedule and I wanted to make more money, I would add another pillar. And then once we start itemizing the things that we can do here for our business, okay, for each different goal component of our business, then we can start applying these things to our schedule. I just want to open this up. Now, what's beautiful about this program that I'm using is I can break it down by the week, and you can see all the gaps in my time. Like Wednesday's a great day for me. Wednesday could be like maybe I schedule another learning session, or maybe this is where I got plenty of room. Can you see that by scheduling my proactivity things first, that I got plenty of time to take on oncoming clients or go on appointments? Okay? And so then I can start time blocking what I'm going to be doing in these things. I can then also look at my business as a monthly, as a whole. Now again, this would have filled up for the entire month, but I didn't get a chance to do the first part of the month. I started it kind of halfway through this week, and then I finished off in this week. But when I go to my next month, when I go over here to November, I already have my schedule. It's ready to go. It's right here. All my activities of what my pro activities are ready to go. Questions, anybody?
None here.
Justin. Ruth, you had a question?
I said, no, I have none.
Are you doing this now, currently in your business?
Not to this extent.
Okay. Can you see how, believe it or not, I'm so anal, I actually have my laundry days scheduled.
That's not a bad thing.
It's funny, but I'm just saying that when you start managing your time, this is what the millionaires do. This is what people that are very, very successful do. We all have the same amount of time. What separates us as individuals is what we do with that time. So when you schedule it into your schedule, you take an idea and it becomes a reality. Now, granted, I'm going to make a joke about this. It's a reality that I do laundry on Monday nights. Okay? Because I have it in my schedule. I do it routine. I coach Venice Little League Baseball, okay? I can't just not show up for practice on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I cannot just not show up for games on Saturdays. They're in my schedule. It becomes my reality. So when you get a handle on what your goals are, and then you apply the activities for those goals into your schedule, then your goals will become a reality by your proactivity through your scheduling. That's a really deep statement, what I just made. When you take your goals, apply them to activities, take those activities, schedule them into your schedule, and you meet them, then your goals will become your reality. And most agents in this business don't do this at all. And so this is how you set yourself up to be successful. This is how you set yourself up to constantly be in the winning frame of mind, moving your business forward, because you know what you should be doing for the day. I don't have to think about it for the day. It's right here in front of me. I know that 11:30 I need to be calling expires on my Expire program. And when did I set up my Expire program? On Tuesday, when I worked on my business, when I spent an hour planning it out, what I was going to do, so then I could implement it the next week. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. And when you, like I said, when you look at it in a week's time, you can see there's lots of openings for lots of opportunity. Listing appointments. I got opportunities to go out and show houses. I got opportunities to add more prospecting components to my business here. Justin, was this helpful for you?
Yeah,